I want to enter admin one, manager one, and then I should click on this login button. Okay, it will throw error message. It will throw an error message. Then I want to click on. Then I want to click on what valid user. Then I want to type valid username and valid password. Then I should click on the login button. I should type first time. I want to type like this. Let me show you once. See, in the first time I want to type admin one. I want to open the browser, enter the URL, and then I want to type admin one, manager one, and then click on login button. It will throw the error message. After that, I want to type valid username and the valid password. Then I should click on login button. It should go to home page. This is what I want to do it. Okay. Now you tell me how to do it. You guys tell me how to do it. Everyone getting this scenario? What I want is, see here, open the browser, enter the URL, type the invalid username like this, admin one, manager one, and then click on the login button. Means first time invalid scenario, second time valid scenario like this, admin one, admin and the manager. You should navigate to the home page. Okay, same thing we want to do it here. Okay, same thing I want to do it in the program. Is it possible to do? We can enter the username password n number of times like this. Here, like this. I can enter the username and the password n number of times like this. Like this. So is it possible? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like this. Yes. Is it possible to do like this? But I don't want to do like this. I want to enter invalid username, invalid password one time. Enter valid password for the second time. Okay, here I want to type admin and then type manager. Okay, this is what I want to do it. Any doubts in this? Any doubts? If you have any doubts, let me execute this program. We'll see what happens. Open the browser, enter the URL, enter invalid username, invalid password, then click on login button. After that, enter the valid username, valid password, click on the login button. Okay, this is what I want to do it. Open the browser, done, enter the URL, done. I enter the invalid username, invalid password, then click on the login. Now, is it typing the valid username now? No, it is not typing. 1 second. Let me give it a task. It's typing the valid, but it's not deleting. Yeah, but it's not deleting the first one. So after admin one, we should delete the data and then I will give .c for 3 seconds so that we can see it properly. Once. It is entering invalid username, that is admin one and the manager one. After that, we will check whether it is typing valid username and password or not. Okay, we'll see that. Open the browser, done. Next, enter the URL. That is it. Next step is what? Enter admin one, manager one, and then click on login button. Enter invalid username, clicking yes. Now it has to type what? Valid username, valid password. Is it typing? No, it is not typing. we'll see what exception it is throwing. What exception is throwing? What exception is it throwing?
Tail element reference exception.
Tail element reference exception. Tail means old. Okay. Reference means address. If you read it from the reverse side, okay, address of the element is old. What is this? We'll see that. What is this tail element reference exception? We'll see this. Why are we getting this? We'll see that. Okay. Before proceeding further, everyone understood what we are doing here? Okay, forget about this part. Okay, forget about this part. This one, everyone understood? Okay, 3 elements we are declaring: username text box, password text box, login button. Here we are initializing those 3 elements. Then either by using business logic method or by using status method, we are accessing outside the class. Here we are accessing outside the class. This one everyone understood. Now what I want is, I want to enter invalid username, okay, and then invalid password. Click on login button for the first time. Second time, I want to type valid username, valid password, and then click on login button for the second time. But it is entering invalid username, invalid password, but it is not entering valid username, valid password. Okay, it is throwing one exception called tail element reference exception. We'll see that why are we getting this exception? Okay, why are we getting this exception? We'll see this. Okay, guys, we'll see that now. We'll take one small example, then we'll see what it is doing here. It is entering admin 1 and then manager 1, and then clicking on the login button. If I click on login button, see here, it will refresh. Is it refreshing the page? Yes. After refreshing the page, it is throwing the error message. Okay. Now, I will take up one small example. One second, guys. I'll go to our old class, something called log. Instead of typing from the scratch, I'll take one existing. I'll take the existing one. Okay, there is one class. Okay. See here, there is one class called login, one static block for system.set property. In line number 15, we are opening the browser. Then, one second, let me give you the URL. Okay, open the browser in line number 15. Line number 16, enter the URL. Okay, in line number 17, we are typing the username in the username text box. Same thing, you already know this. Instead of writing it in one line, I will write it in 2 lines. Same thing, UNTBX. UNTBX dot send keys. Okay, what I'm doing, open the browser, enter the URL, then enter, type admin in the username text box. This is what I'm doing. Let us check whether this code is working or not. Execute the code. We have already done this. I'm sure it is going to type admin in the username text box. Okay, it is going to type what? Admin in the username text box. Open the browser, done. Next step is what? Enter the URL. That is also done. Now what? Type what? Tell me, type admin in the username text box. Is it typing? Is it typing? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Guys, yes, it is typing. There is no problem with the program. Now I will do one small check. Tell me how to refresh the page. How do you refresh the page? Tell me anyone tell me how to refresh the page.
The driver dot manage
Or
dot
hey, what is this? Huh? Driver dot navigate dot.
driver dot navigate dot refresh.
Okay. Now see here. I'm refreshing the page. Okay. What is this we are doing? We are declaring and also we are initializing the value. Here we are utilizing. Okay. Now before this and this, I have inserted one line called driver.navigate.refresh. Okay. Now what happens? You see that if I execute this code, what happens? See, open the browser, done, enter the URL, done. Next, refresh the page. Is it refresh the page? Yes. After that, type admin. Is it typing admin? No, it is not typing admin. We will see. See here, it is throwing same exception. What we have got just before, same exception we are getting. Okay, same exception we are getting. Now, see here, I will change this refresh. Do you think because of the refresh it is throwing error? Let's see that now. Now I will put this refresh, cut it and put it here. If I execute this code, we'll check whether now also it is throwing stale element or not. Refresh the page. Done. Now it is typing. Is it typing admin now? Are we getting any exception now here? No exception. When we are getting the exception, even though if I put this refresh, after this also, here also if I put, I will not get the exception. Only when I am getting exception is whenever I am pasting this in between. Okay, after declaration, if I change, okay, if I put that refresh, okay, I am getting exception. Okay, reason is why I am getting this exception is, I will tell you one thing. Int I is equal to 10. What is this meaning? What is this? What is this? Int I equals 10 means what? Okay, that is declaration initialization. Okay, for us, but in the back end, okay, everyone will think that I is holding the value 10, but actually I will be holding the address, something called @p1. Okay, I will be holding what? Address. Some address it is holding. In that address, @p1, the 10 value will be present. Right? Everyone knows this? I will not holding this actually. I is not holding what? 10. I is holding address. In that address, 10 value will be present. Getting that? Huh? Okay, this is what actually happens in the backend. In the Java, this is how it will work. It accepts a reference variable means what? This is a reference variable or simply variable will be holding the address actually. In that address, value will be there. When I call SOPI, it will go to that address, take the value. Okay, if I use this, okay, SOPI, it will go to the address, some address, @p1 like that, then it will take the value. Okay, here, okay, this 3 lines can also be written like this. Everyone knows this. Okay, int I, declaration I is equal to 10, and then what? SOP I can also write like this, right? Now, when you declare the element, I will be holding what? Null. I will be holding null value. Okay, here 10 is present in some address. Okay, if I initialize, then only it will become like this. Okay, that this address will comes to I place. This address will comes to I. It will go inside I. Okay, this address of what? 10. Beginning, it will be holding null. Okay, when you put int I is equal to or I equals 10, when you put this I equals 10, I will be holding the address, some address like 100 people. In that address, 10 value will be. Okay, now what I am doing here is, I will refresh this. Here I will put refresh. That is what we are doing now. Here also same thing. Here I am what declaring, and then I am initializing. What is this UNTBX? Holding the address of the username text box. Now here it is holding the address of what? Value 10. I will be holding the value 10. Here if I refresh and then if I start using this, I will get stale element reference exception. Stale element reference exception means this reference means address in Java. Address of the element is old. Address of the element is what? Old. Read it from this side first. Means what happens when I refresh is now. Okay, here. What is this? I will be holding some value called address will be 10. If I refresh, this 10 is there. No, the 10 address will change. Something will be changed to @p. New address will come for 10 value. But I will be still holding the same old address. So if I try to use this, I will go to this address and fetch the data. But in @p1, in that address, no data is there. 10, the value 10 has changed the address. Same thing happening here. What I am doing this, then I am refreshing the page. Okay, then I am trying to utilize it here. Okay, UNTBX. Okay, dot send keys. Here I will type. Okay. Now this, if I execute this line, this UNTBX will be holding this address @p1. Okay, in that p1, actually in this p1, instead of 10, username text box is there. Okay, username text box address. Okay, if I execute this line, okay, this @p1 will be stored in UNTBX. Means it will be holding the address of which one? Text box address. Okay, UNTBX will be holding the text box address. If I refresh this page, okay, this text box address will be changed. P1 to P2, some address will be used. But username text box is still holding the same address. What is that address? @p1. In that address, nothing is there after the refresh. Okay, then what is this? UNTBX means address. Go to this address. Dot means go to the address @p1. Okay, then use this send keys. Okay, actually, if I don't refresh, it will go to the address. In address, what is the text box? Is there username text box? Okay, then it will type it. Send keys for typing. But here, after refreshing, that address has been changed. text box address got changed, but the variable is that variable or that reference variable username text UNTBX is still holding the old address of the text box. Whenever a page is refreshing, see here, whenever a page is refreshed, 1 second, let me log out. Whenever the page is refreshed, if I do refresh like this, okay, see it is refreshing, here it is refreshing, the address of username text box, every element, address of this password text box, address of login button, everything will get changed. So if I use this, that is the reason here, if I execute this program, I am getting stale element reference exception. Why it is not throwing a no such element exception? Because whatever ID you are using is correct. Whatever the locators you are using is correct. Right? You address your, but now that's the reason it is throwing what stale element reference exception. Then how to handle this? We'll see. First of all, everyone getting, why are we getting the exception? Any doubts? Ask me. That's very, very important. This is very, very important. Whenever you refresh the page, the address will change. Here actually driver.find element means what? We are finding the address. Address of what? Address of the username text box. Getting?
So, but why after that refreshing the page, sir, we refresh page means beginning only now?
Yes, we will not do refresh this. We in real time will not do refresh. Just to show you, I have taken this example.
Okay, sir.
Okay, why are we getting that exception? Why do we get that exception? To show you, I have taken, intentionally I have taken this refresh. Invalid username and the password. Right? You are entering invalid username and password. Same thing here. After typing admin1, and then it is typing admin1 also, it is typing manager1 also. After clicking on login, it will automatically refresh. See, you can hear here, please see here in this title, if there no active and login, here it will refresh. Circle will come. Means it is refreshing the page. See, if I click on login, it will do refresh. See, page is refreshing. Page is refreshing. Here I am not intentionally refreshing. It is only automatically refreshing. Am I written any code for refreshing in this program? But still it is refreshing. That's the reason it is entering the username, whether it is valid or invalid, doesn't care. It is typing. But in the second line, it is not typing because the page got refreshed, address of the every element has been changed. That's the reason it is throwing what stale element reference exception. Everyone getting, guys, why are we getting stale element reference exception? What do you mean by stale element reference exception? Address of the element is old. Stale means old. Because of this reason only we are getting that stale element exception. That username text box address will be changed. Then what is the solution? There is one thing called page object model. Okay. In Java, there is one design pattern. Okay, there is one design pattern to avoid this stale element reference exception. That is called as page object model. It is also called as POM. It is one of the Java design patterns. Actually, it is used by the developers now to develop the web pages. Now we are also using this, okay, as an object repository and to avoid stale element reference exception. Object repository means what? We are storing the elements. 3 elements we are storing. What are those? Username text box, password text box, and login button. These 3 elements we are storing inside the class. In which class? In login page class. Means we are storing all the objects, guys. Username text box is one object, password text box is an object, login button is an object, their logo is there, logo is an object, this logo is an object, there is one text, this is also one object. Like this, we're storing all the objects inside the class. Like how we're storing the data now, like that we're storing the objects inside the class. We're storing the test data in Excel. We're storing common data in property file. Like that, we are storing this data inside where? Inside the class. We're storing the web elements or we're storing the objects. That is the reason. Okay, this form is also called as object repository. We'll see that what do you mean object repository. I'll tell you what is the advantage of doing this. But everyone getting the problem which we are facing now. Okay, how to come out of this problem by using what? Page object model. Okay, this is one of the Java design patterns. Okay, which is used by the developers to develop the web page. It is also used by the test engineers. Okay, not manual test engineers. It is used by automation test engineers to test the web page. Here, 3 rules are there. You have to declare the element by using, there is one thing called @find by image. We have to declare the element by using this. And we have to initialize the element by using init elements method. Init elements method. By using this method, we have to initialize. Okay, if you do that, then it will not throw stale element reference exception. What is that? I will tell you. Before that, before going further, everyone understood why are we getting stale element reference exception. Please tell me if you are not getting anything here, if you are getting confused anywhere, let me know before proceeding further. Are you guys getting why are we getting stale element reference exception? Site Wajid, are you getting? Is there? Wajid? Yes, sir. Okay. Others getting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Chinmay, are you getting? Chinmay, Waka.
Yes, I'm getting.
Oh, fine. Okay. Now, how to avoid this stale element reference exception? We'll see that. Okay. I told you it is there is one thing called page object model. It is one of the Java design patterns. What is this page object model? Okay, it is an object repository. It is also called as what? Object repository. Why we are going to call it as object repository? I will tell you. First, I will tell you the syntax. How to use the syntax? I will tell you. Now, here, initializing like this, right? We are initializing like this. In page object model, we are not going to initialize like this. Okay? And also, we are going to declare the element by using what? Find by. Syntax I will give you first of all. Syntax is okay, find by locator name is equal to locator value. Locator value. Okay, here private element private web element name. This is syntax. This is how we're going to declare the element. Then how will initialize the element? There is one method called init elements method. There is one method called init elements. It is a static method. It is what kind of method? Static method present page factory class. Present in page factory class. Static method present in page factory class. How to call it? By using class page factory dot init elements method. It takes two arguments. Okay, one is driver and one more is object. One is web driver. One is web driver. Okay, one more is it will take object of form class. Object of the form class. Okay, what do you mean by this object of the form class? Now we are going to consider this login page as form class. So I want to pass this object. How to get that? How to get that object of the form class? It will be stored inside the address. Means it is asking the address of the form class. How to get the object of the current class? By using this. Okay, this keyword will be holding the address of the object. Okay, address of the object will be stored inside this keyword. So I will have to give web driver means I should give it a private. What is this? I will tell you. Don't know. This is just the syntax, guys. I have given just the syntax. How to apply the syntax? You tell me how to apply it. Here.
I have one question. Can I ask?
Yes, just tell me. What is the question? The syntax. Do you have any questions in the syntax?
Sir, the previous one you show it refresh one because we refresh it, so that's why that is still.
Here. One second. One second. What is
so here in this we will refresh, then address is changed. That's why we use form in real time.
Yes. Address of which one changed? Address of which one is changing? Tell me.
Sir, in this address of not username or admin.
Address means this text box address here. Address of this text box. Address of the password. Address of the login button. Whenever if I do the rest, what we are doing here.
So address of the username text box. Nah, my question is that address of username text box, password text box, login text box, that one will change.
Yes, correct. What is your doubt?
Now my doubt is clear, sir. So when we refresh, it will change. So we handle this. That's why we are using form.
Yes. That is what I'm trying to say. Yes.
Sir, now with this form only we are getting still reference this exception, but in starting we did not get this one.
No, not in form. Here, starting we are not getting exception. Yes. Okay. If I driver, one more is object of form class. Okay. Init element method will only load the element. Means so that next time. See here, how we can avoiding stale element? Why are we getting stale element reference exception? Previously, what is happening? We are declaring by using this private web element, and here we are initializing the element by using what? Driver.find element. From now onwards, in real time, nowhere we will be using driver.find element. Okay, in real time, we never use driver.find element anywhere. Okay, always remember this. If you are using form means we never use driver.find element anywhere because of this reason. Means here we are declaring the element like this. Okay, it is called as declaration. Okay, then it will initialize the element. Each and every element will be initialized by this method. Okay, there is one method called init elements method. Wherever it will see @ find by, wherever it will see @ find by, it will hold the initialization part. It will just declare. Then when it will initialize, whenever you are creating an object here, whenever you are creating an object on calling this method, okay, what we are doing, we are performing action on the element, like typing. On that time, whenever you are performing action on the element, on that time, okay, on that time, this init element method will initialize the elements with the help of @find by. Actual initialization happens, okay, whenever you are performing the action, means in the runtime it will initialize. Previously, during the compilation time, we are initializing. Now we are just declaring the element. It will not initialize actually. Initialization happens during the runtime or just before you are performing action on the element. On that time, it will initialize the element. Actual initialization happens on that time. By whom? By this init elements method. So how? By taking the address of the object. This keyword will be holding the address of the object. In that object, it contains all the elements. Username, password, login button, address of each and everything will be there inside that object. Means it will always, this is the keyword, it will be holding the fresh address. By using this keyword, it will take the object of the address of the fresh address of the each and every object every time. And that is how this concept is called as lazy initialization. That is how it will avoid what stale element, reference, etc. Okay. Take it down. If you want me to repeat after this, after taking the notes, I will repeat this. Take down this